It's only masculine men that love you that want to solve a problem. Masculine men are not committed to taking care of someone they don't even know. Why is he supposed to spoil you and treat you and do all these things for you? He doesn't even know you. And I'll also say, for the men, here's a hack to the men. If ladies want you to spend a ton of money on them, they don't like you. Because there is no woman that doesn't even know you that's okay with you investing in her, because her ears should be going up. If you give me thousands of dollars off the jump, what do you want? Like who sent you for real, right? That should be where her mind is going. Even if it's a few $100s to get my nails done. No, I'm thinking about your bank account and my bank account. And it's not necessary for you to do those things. It's very nice if you make the offer and the gesture, but it's not a necessity. And I think that if women are so caught up inside of you need to do this for me, leave her alone. She's a taker. She's not there to give. She's there to get an experience out of you. She's there to use you, and she's there to get exactly what it is that she wants. Don't be that person. Don't do it. If she wants you to spend a bunch of money on her from the top, she doesn't like you. And also women, if he's not making effort to continue to plan dates and be intentional with getting together with you, even if that date is tea, even if that date is a dinner, even if that date is a night out dancing, whatever that may be, if he's not making intention and being consistent in communication, he doesn't like you. Because one thing about a man is when they want you, they will come for you every single time.
Western men are going abroad to find traditional wives. Translation: women here have developed standards. So now we're importing compliance? Cool. Love that for global relations. And I like how they say traditional, as if that doesn't just mean less likely to question me. Women in America have money, opinions, information, and suddenly it's, maybe I'll try a different country. Also, quick question. If you have to leave your entire country to find someone who will tolerate you, is the problem geography or you? And the fantasy is always, she'll be sweet, soft, feminine. Yeah, until she gets Wi-Fi, a group chat, and standards. Because here's the twist. Women everywhere are people, even internationally. And the part that's actually funny, you don't want traditional, you want unexposed. Someone who hasn't learned yet they're allowed to say no. Yet. This isn't about love, it is about control. And you flew across the world to avoid becoming someone a woman with options would choose. Economy class, too.
Women don't lose good men. Men lose good women.
The fact that there are still women out there trying to convince themselves of that really amuses me.
Let me say that one more.
Why? Why say that again? Because it most certainly won't make it true.
A woman doesn't leave a good man.
Well, that's not right. There are numerous women who leave good men every single day. But do carry on.
Men leave or get left by good women because they could not maintain the emotional capacity that relationship required.
They're completely overlooking the fact that a lot of women don't have the emotional intelligence or maturity to actually be in a relationship. But I digress.
Why do you think men just go run to something easier, something that doesn't require them to actually feel, grow, and turn into the man that they actually want to be?
Why is it always the man's fault? It's like some women can't accept any kind of personal accountability.
A man's lack of emotional capacity to love you has nothing to do with you. It has his lack of ability to grow into the highest version of himself.
The same could be said for women, actually, but a lot of women don't like to talk about that.
So don't let him bring you down. You keep moving. You keep just getting better. You keep blowing up. And believe me, you just keep dating because there's so many men who love you.
There's going to be a multitude of very disappointed women out there when they realize that those good men out there simply would rather be happily single and not put up with their emotional immaturity.
Or high standards bother men because they feel 100% entitled to women. It doesn't matter whether or not he actually wants you or is interested in you, but you need to be a viable option for him. This is why women with high standards piss men off, because he needs to know that whether or not he wants you, you want him, that he has a chance with you. What do you mean he wouldn't be good enough for you? I think sometimes it takes a hit on their ego and other times it's just their entitlement to women's bodies. It's just their entitlement to your time and your space. I think sometimes it's a hit to the man's ego, and then other times it's literally just, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are as a woman to deny me, a man? Who are you to say that you don't want me when I don't even want you? Who are you to turn me down when I didn't court you? Who are you to tell me that I'm not good enough? So raise those standards high. Because as a woman, one of the most dangerous things you could do for yourself is end up with a man who feels entitled to you. It's not about equality, it's about entitlement.
Real high value men get the last laugh every single time. It always works out that way. We get better as we get older. We have more resources. We have more status. We have more access. We could always date younger too. And the women who are making rules saying they don't do this, they wouldn't do that, guess what? Those women are either going to settle or be single and stay single. However, the high value men, we could just walk away because there's always another option. There's always a younger, hotter, more valuable woman who actually respects us and who wants us. And it doesn't matter if we're 32, if we're 42, if we're 45, if we're 55. I've seen it firsthand. Real high value men always get the last laugh because at the end of the day, a lot of people don't want to believe this, but high value men run the dating market, not women.
There's this idea with a lot of young men that they'll hit their prime at 40 and then they can exclusively date young, hot women. I am the young, hot woman trying to date your dad. Let me tell you something. Most of you will not be pulling young, hot women when you're 40. Hello, it's me, the young, hot woman trying to date your dad. You got so much hate. My audience is still mostly men that hate me because of that video. You want to know something? All my haters, they were not in that top percentile of attractiveness I was talking about. It's only the men who didn't peak, the majority of men who were hating on that video. All the men that did peak, all the men that are hot, 35 to 40, they couldn't disagree with me because they know I'm right and they're on a date with me. I still stand 10 toes down on that video. The reason I took it down is because people in real life were finding it. That made me really think about my digital footprint actually, but I'm still correct.
I just want to offer another possibility, and that is that the small group of men that you're referring to that did agree with you do find you attractive, and that the very large group of men that don't agree with you don't find you attractive. And look, I do not mean that as an insult because everyone has different things that they are attracted to, which can be broken down into physical attractiveness and then basically everything else, which includes personality and attitude. For most people, if you come online and you're just bashing and putting down a whole group of people while boosting yourself up like you're in this top 20% of women, it's giving egotistical, and a lot of people are not attracted to that. Truly, it doesn't even matter how your outward appearance is at that point. That's just my 2 cents. That might be what's going on here, so food for thought.
The men that get upset at women for wanting a man with money, here's an idea. Find yourself a woman that doesn't care about money. There are plenty of women in this world that think time and attention is more than enough. So go get them.
First of all, we're not gonna judge her because we are sinners like she is, and that's not our work, it's God's work. There are things in life that are way more important than only thinking about money. Yes, the Bible talks about the men should provide and protect, but why people think that providing is only money? That is not only about money. Providing is for a man being faithful, providing his faithfulness. Yeah, that's something the money can't buy. And it's way important than money. What other things a man can provide? Peace, clarity, consistency. It's more important to have a man who is consistent with you, who show you that you are a priority for him, who bring you peace. And also you want a man who provides to be with you in the hard times, because everyone is with you in the easy times, but not everyone is with you in the hard. You want a man who provide maturity, wisdom, because some people are smart but they do not have wisdom. You know that? You want a man who bring you closer to God, not far away from God. So pay attention to that one, please. So there are more things in life that money can't buy. Pick the right one.
Why are so many men refusing to get married? This is an interesting question, and I don't know if men actually are refusing to get married or not, but it could be a few things. It could be that there's misconceptions about what marriage is. We hear a lot about who benefits from marriage. Is there a benefit to marriage? We hear a lot about men who are taken advantage of in the divorce process or feel like they lost something. I also think there's this mindset where you're with someone, but you're wondering if something better is out there. So why would you commit to marriage if you're worried you're going to miss out on something better? What I would say to women in that situation is if your partner doesn't want to marry you and you want to get married, leave, break up. That's going to end with you guys breaking up anyway. And if you're a single man who never wants to get married, let us know why. We're really curious.
And I think, because Sarah was talking about basically attraction on both sides. If this woman is off the jump trying to get you to spend thousands of dollars, she doesn't really like you like that. And if the man is not making an effort, he doesn't really like you like that, right? So if you like a man, but you want to date that say for instance, he says, well, let's go on a walk. And you say, well, I really don't feel comfortable with the walk. Then you could have something. You should be thinking of things that you want to do if somebody says something that you don't want to do. Like if a man says, why don't we go for ice cream? And you don't want to go on an ice cream date. Do you have something that's comparable? Not something that, like say for instance, you might go into an ice cream shop and you say, well, I don't like vanilla. You can't then say, do you have a hamburger? You know what I mean? Like that's totally different. That's something that it is in a different sphere, which is what modern women are doing. Hey, I don't like long walks. I don't want, they do, but I don't want that. I want something that's a little bit more substantial in terms of finances. I want you to spend a little bit more money, right? So instead of ice cream or instead of a walk, let's go to a steak. Let's go to a steakhouse. If he comparable might mean, hey, you want to go get some ice cream? And then she says, no, not really feeling ice cream. How about we go to like that new taco truck on the south side of town? Okay, that's comparable. You know what I mean? If you're not thinking that way and you're trying to get men to spend money on you just for the sake of spending money, should you really even be out here dating?
Saw another man on the internet talk about how he knows the manosphere is a load of shit, and I thought I'd go next. At the age of 29, I was unemployed, I lived with my mum, and I didn't even have a car, and yet I still managed to pull a baddie. Because most women do not care what is in your bank account, they care about how you make them feel.
Another man telling you that the manosphere is full of shit. And I'm another one, and I've been one for almost a year. I have dated probably close to 60 women in my life, and I have never been dated for my money or just my looks. And in fact, if a woman did ever date me for those things, I wouldn't want to be with her. I want someone to like me for me. Most women I dated had no idea how much money I made. If you're out here thinking that the only reason you're single is because you don't make enough money or you're not tall enough, I have so much good news for you. That doesn't have to be the case. There are so many other ways that you can attract a woman. As long as you have your looks locked in and you take care of yourself, the rest can rely on your personality, your sense of humor, your chemistry, your shared interests, your shared values. That matters so much more, and he nailed something. Women don't necessarily care about your bank account. They care about how you make them feel. How do they feel when they're with you? How do they feel when they're done hanging out with you? That matters more than anything these manosphere guys are telling you. Take it from me, take it from this guy, take it from the thousands of men who have told you that the manosphere is full of shit.
A lot of you men think that the way to impress a woman is by spending more money on her, buying her gifts, paying for everything, trying to prove that you are just so attentive. But psychologically, that actually lowers your value. And let me explain why. When a man starts throwing just all this money at a woman extremely early on, what you're really communicating to her is that I need to qualify myself to be with you. And attraction does not grow from approval seeking. It grows from your status and your direction in your life. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying be cheap with your money when it comes to her, because you don't want to do that either. But be extremely mindful where your money is going, because women are not impressed by a man trying to buy their attention. They are attracted to a man who is investing in his own world and making it irresistible. His lifestyle, his mission, his experiences, his environment, and his own leadership in his own life. If a man has built a life that's exciting, structured, and actually moving somewhere, women don't feel like he's trying to qualify to be with them. They feel like they're being invited into something extremely special because they are. And psychologically, that is very exciting and very powerful. Let me give you an example. Imagine a restaurant that has a guy outside trying to pull you in with a free drink versus a restaurant that does zero advertising, yet you have to make a reservation to get in or know somebody to get in. Which one do you think generates more attraction? Exactly. The real move isn't trying to impress her. The real move is building a life so amazing that she wants to be a part of it. That's it.
I think a lot of men still believe that women are mainly looking for a provider, when in reality, a lot of women are already providing for themselves now. We have our own money, we have our own career, we have our own apartment. But what a lot of women are actually craving isn't just a man who can pay for things. It's a man who knows how to listen, a man with emotional intelligence, a man who can communicate and understand nuance and actually make a woman feel seen. Because you can be with a man who does everything right on paper, but if he doesn't understand you on a deeper level, you're still gonna feel lonely in that relationship. And I think this is where a lot of women go wrong in dating, because they prioritize the surface level traits, status, money, confidence, chemistry, but they don't stop early enough to ask, does this person actually understand me? Can he hold emotional depth? Does he know how to listen without making everything about himself? Because if you don't prioritize that early on, you can easily end up in a relationship where you're deeply misunderstood. And I don't think that's talked about enough. A provider's great, but being emotionally safe with someone, being deeply understood by someone, those are the things that actually determine the quality of the relationship.
A lot of women are upholding the patriarchy these days, whether they think so or not, especially the ones who say they want protector-provider men. Because all a patriarchy is a system where men hold majority positions of power, which often means they make more money. And although the girls don't want that in society, right? They're like, I want to be equal to men, have the same money, opportunities, job, success. But in the dynamic of a relationship, that changes completely. They want a man who makes more than them. They want a man who pays for everything. They want a man who is assertive and is a leader and takes charge, so that way they can turn their brain off and just be a girl. That is a patriarchy, ma'am. You want a patriarchal relationship. And I don't even say that as a diss. Like, I don't think patriarchy is this big, bad boogeyman that the feminists are making it out to be. Nor do I think it needs to inherently be oppressive, right? Because then a matriarchy would also inherently be oppressive towards men. And I think both of those systems can exist without the oppression. Now, of course, humans are flawed, and we haven't found out a way to successfully do that other than our modern society that we have now. But now that we have this modern society, stop asking for the men to do all of the things. If you don't want them to have the power, don't ask them to spend the money. That only makes sense.
Why the would you ever want to get married as a man in 2026?
You don't have to.
Imagine being so desperate to hold on to a woman. You get on one knee and put a ring on her finger. You spend money on a wedding and money on that ring just for her to take half of your. Let's think about this logically. 60% of marriages end in divorce.
Oh, that's a new stat. I've never heard of that before.
That she might take all of your. Because let me tell you, if she's willing to disrespect you to the point where she takes you to court, she's gonna come after every last. Do not expect mercy. I want you to think about this. If there was a property that you wanted to invest in, and there was a 60% chance that it would go to zero, zilch, nothing, would you ever invest in that property? No, you.
Taking advice from a young kid who doesn't even know how to wipe his ass is pretty idiotic. But let me break this video down. Couple things. One, this is a product of the manosphere. That whole red pill that you've seen on social media. These guys, if you notice every bullet point he said, it wasn't an original take or original thought. These are memes that you've been hearing on viral videos for the past 10 years. So again, not an original thought whatsoever is coming from him. And two, he's exploiting young men. And that's one thing I cannot stand. What pisses me off about this whole manosphere is that there actually is a lot of young men who need guidance. They grew up with no father figure possibly, and they need help, especially when they're heartbroken. And these exploiters come in, tell them, you're the victim. It's women that are at fault, not you. And now you've molded a young man at a very young, impressionable age to think, I'm the victim. It's women's fault, not mine. And now he's never going to take accountability. See, what these guys are doing is they're validating your pain and not giving you knowledge. They want you to stay as this bitter, lonely guy so they can continue to exploit your pain by you subscribing to them and watching their videos and getting that reassurance that, yeah, it's not my fault. It's women's. They're taking advantage of you. And the sad reality is I know many guys who actually follow those Manosphere podcasts, and not one of them is in a healthy relationship or marriage. They're all bitter and they're all alone. Don't be an idiot.
I want to talk to the women that's near 30, at 30, or over. You want the men with money. You want the men that's in my world. You want the men like me. Yes, I'm good with money. I'm this, that, I'm third. But then y'all want this and that. But do you qualify for those type of, for us? Because your looks matter. How your the fit, the of everything which you look like matters. So I'm asking you this. Do you qualify? Like, or do you look like Rihanna? Do you look like Kim K? Do you look like Margaret Robbie? Do you look like, I could go on. Do you look like, man, I'll say, bae. Do you look like them? Do you qualify? Because the men with money on our purpose, we want to know, why do you think you should have men like us?
Far too often, women give men the benefit of the doubt, but if a man acts like he doesn't like you, he probably doesn't. The kind of man that doesn't want to spend time with you, unnecessarily rough with you like he is with her, that last little shove really made my teeth itch. But some men who act like this, it's because this is how they really feel about you. And for that split second, they have to show you how much they don't like you. This is what I mean when I say that a man can lay next to you every single night, kiss you, mwah, on your forehead, and not like you. You can't ignore the clues. You watched that video back just like we did, and you saw what we saw. The disdain on his face, the unnecessary roughness. You should never want to be loved so badly that you would allow yourself to be mistreated in order to get it. This reminds me of a quote that I saw recently. Don't give the man the benefit of the doubt. You gotta doubt the benefit of the man. Because what was the point of having a man if he treats you like that?
I think a lot of these modern women are some of the most ignorant, even with an education. A lot of these modern women are probably some of the most ignorant women that you can come across. Oh, you're going abroad to find a traditional woman? Oh, well, she doesn't have the money that I have. That might be true. She doesn't have the education and the information that I have. No. A lot of these women abroad are educated. You have some of these women that have legitimate degrees. 2 and 3 of them. These women know 2 and 3 languages. Oh, well, that's because they have tourists come through. I don't care who's coming through and who ain't coming through. The fact that they say, in order for me to adapt, in order for me to understand what's going on, which is what you're having a problem with. You're having trouble adapting. That's what the man is looking for. The man is looking for flexibility. The man is looking for cooperation. Her going out and learning multiple languages might show, oh, I'm flexible. I can adapt. There's multiple ways of life other than mine. And in order for me to live in the world and survive in the world, I have to learn how to adapt. I have to learn how to be flexible. I have to learn how to cater to different people. Same thing as a man. In order for a man to get money, he has to learn how to be flexible. He has to learn how to adapt. Kevin Samuels talked about this. You know, before you get money and build your network, you have to be flexible. If you're extrovert or introverted, you have to learn how to talk to people and network and build up the people that you know in order to get where you're going. So they have that in common. Both of them have to get out of their comfort zone. They have to get out of their shell and learn new skills. They have to not only learn those skills, but use those skills in a practical manner. Something that modern women don't do. They learn skills and they don't really do anything with them but shout how much of a boss babe they are.
Okay guys, I want to talk to you really quick because obviously my name keeps getting brought up by either women or men. Lately it's these red pill guys because I said my money, or what did I say? His money is our money and my money is my money, which is a common saying, whatever. I'm not even gonna elaborate because I don't care to explain myself to them. But what I will say is, if you're not gonna be a man for women, like if you're gonna say, oh, women should do this for us and we're the prize and blah, 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 at least be a man for yourselves. And what I mean by that is, so I just want to feel like you guys are doing, whether it's Andrew Tate or the Red Pill podcast guys, like when they tell you something, when they ask you to jump, you say how high. You're still not a man either way. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you're still a little beta boy doing whatever these men tell you. Why are you mad at us? Why are you mad if me and my husband are cool with each other, if we both make jokes at each other's expense?
We're the trust fund baddie community. We're not red pill related. Why is it that every single time that we call out women on their BS, all of a sudden you become a red pillar? We're not misogynists. We love women. We just hate poor and entitled women. And you, madam, are extremely entitled. There is nothing you was joking about when you said his money is your money. You clearly know what you said. You also expounded on what you said, so just stand on business. Don't try to retract it. This has nothing to do with hating women. This has everything to do with not dealing with entitled women like you, who who think just because you look the way you think you look, that's enough. It's not enough. Yes, we are the prize. Yes, your husband is the prize. I don't got nothing against him. I personally support him. But you, on the other hand, you're an op. You're literally his op in 4K. He's just too soft to realize that. And I was doing a little research. They're saying that you're his first everything. You know you got that boy trapped in the cage. It's okay. We see it. But it's okay for us to also call it out. No one is trying to cancel you. All we're trying to do is show your true colors of who you are. We don't want to cancel you. We just want to truly reveal who you are to the world, because there's so many women just like you hiding in the shadows and trying to portray themselves as good, high value women. You're not. You're literally leeching off your husband. We see that in 4K, and we're going to mention that every single time. So when you pick up that mic, speak accordingly. If not, you will hear from us again.
Ladies, there are men that love dealing with women that have quote unquote hit the wall, because they know that you've lost the leverage to demand more. That's why you say, I'm going to maintain my own and we can have separate living arrangements. God's going to sign up for and you don't want marriage, and you don't want kids, and you just only need me on the weekend. Sign me up. Guys actually love guys who have no legitimate long-term serious intentions for women. Love the because now when I come back in the store, everything's on clearance. The things I couldn't get before that was on the top shelf, that was so hard and there was a line around the corner. Now I can walk in. There's one person in line. Everything's on the clearance rack. Now's the time. Now's my opportunity to get my Hollywood beauty. Now's my time, 20 years later, to get my video vixen. The men that think this way, we would love women that are on the wall, because now it's easier than dealing with her when she was 25.
Bradley is wrong about why women leave. His whole theory is that men got soft, beta husbands, lazy providers, and if guys would just man up, their wives would stay. His prescription is testosterone, his cure is 1955. Here's where he's missing it. Women file nearly 70% of divorces in this country, and most of the men that I've sat across from were working long hours, coming home to the kids, handling the things she never sees, and still they weren't doing enough. She isn't filing because she's doing two jobs. She's filing because she's been told she's doing two jobs. From inside the room, the women who file aren't the most tired. They're the most connected. She isn't divorcing you. She's divorcing the marriage she watches on her phone all day. The divorced friend posting beach photos captioned, "The soft life saved me." The TikTok therapist diagnosing her marriage in 60 seconds. The single mom influencer with the spotless kitchen, the calm kids, and a morning routine that never includes a husband. The IG coach selling boundaries courses where her husband is always the boundary. The post-divorce glow-up reel, new haircut, new body, new caption. I finally chose me. Every one of these is selling her the same story. The woman on the other side of the divorce is calmer, freer, hotter, and finally herself. Brad's fix is to go backwards, but you can't. You can't unspoil the algorithm. You can't put 2007 back in the box. She isn't filing because she's exhausted. She's filing because she's been told the next chapter is better. She's been told that by everyone in her phone.
The men in NHL that leave their hockey sticks on the ice when they break it, those are the men that ask women to clean up after them. And
the reaching that some of y'all do really needs to be studied, because a professional hockey player dropping his stick on the ice has absolutely nothing to do with women. Oh, you don't believe me? Let's look it up. I took the liberty of going to ChatGPT, and this is what it said. In the NHL, when a player's stick breaks, they'll often just drop it on the ice immediately instead of picking it up. Here's why. Number one, safety first. A broken stick can be dangerous. Sharp edges can cut someone. It can trip players skating at high speed. Leaving it flat on the ice is actually safer than carrying it around. Number two, speed of the game. Hockey moves fast. If a player tried to skate to the bench while holding a broken stick, carrying it around, they'd slow down and hurt their team defensively. Dropping it lets them either grab a new stick quickly or stay in position without fumbling. Number three, teammates or refs handle it. Once it's on the ice, a referee or linesman will usually kick it out of the way or remove it. Sometimes a teammate skating by will move it too. 4, rules plus advantage. Players are allowed to drop broken equipment, but not to throw it or use it illegally. The goal is to not gain an unfair advantage or create chaos. See what I mean? They just get on here and say anything, absolutely anything. As long it paints men out to be something that they are not, they will say it. All it took was a quick Google search. That's all it was. ChatGPT, Google, Ask Jeeves, they would have all told you the same thing, but no. Let me make some content hating men, even though they didn't do anything wrong. Boy, I tell you, some of y'all really need to be studied when all this is said and done. But I know she ain't gonna listen to shit I just said, because I'm just a normal guy. Y'all keep the change.
I genuinely believe women should propose to men. Here's why, okay? Look at what a girl gets to benefit from getting my hand in marriage. The question is, what do I benefit? What do I get, right? If you look at it on paper, I risk losing half of everything I own. I risk having to pay spousal support, child support if it doesn't work out. So like, I'm gonna go ask the woman to then have me by the balls, because if she walks away, I lose 50% of everything. Does that make sense to you guys? No. So women should prove to the man why you could trust her with having access to 50% of everything, and a certain percentage, by the way, in California, it's almost 30% of your income for life. Okay, for life. Why? Why would I do that? You know, all the richest women in the world, all the billionaires, with the exception of like Taylor Swift and 3 others, okay? Every female billionaire became a billionaire by divorcing a guy. So why would these idiots, men, go propose to a woman who literally risks it all? You're risking your entire life's work for marriage, so I'm going to beg her to take all my... It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Women should propose to men and prove to men why they should even give them access to their world.
Why are so many men refusing to get married? This is an interesting question, and I don't know if men actually are refusing to get married or not, but it could be a few things. It could be that there's misconceptions about what marriage is. We hear a lot about who benefits from marriage. Is there a benefit to marriage? We hear a lot about men who are taken advantage of in the divorce process or feel like they lost something. I also think there's this mindset where you're with someone, but you're wondering if something better is out there. So why would you commit to marriage if you're worried you're going to miss out on something better? What I would say to women in that situation is, if your partner doesn't want to marry you and you want to get married, leave, break up. That's going to end with you guys breaking up anyway. And if you're a single man who never wants to get married, let us know why. We're really curious. Why are so many men refusing to get married? This is an interesting question, and I don't know if men actually are refusing to get married or not, but it could be a few things. It could be that there's misconceptions about what marriage is. We hear a lot about who benefits from marriage. Is there a benefit to marriage? We hear a lot about men who are taken advantage of in the divorce process or feel like they lost something. I also think there's this mindset where you're with someone, but you're wondering if something better is out there. So why would you commit to marriage if you're worried you're going to miss out on something better? What I would say to women in that situation is, if your partner doesn't want to marry you and you want to get married, leave, break up. That's going to end with you guys breaking up anyway. And if you're a single man who never wants to get married, let us know why. We're really curious.
And this is what I'm saying right here, because we continue to gloss over and blow past why men would even be chasing money in the first place, why they would be even chasing looks and status in the first place. Because that's what these modern women are saying. Well, the manosphere and the red pill, yada yada yada, and this and that, it's a crock of nonsense, it's crap, it's this and this. Once again, we have to hold women accountable too. If a woman comes out and says, well, this is how a man can approach me, even if I don't like him, this is what he can expect. If we can get women to start saying, well, this is what you can expect when you approach me, men already know what they can expect from modern women. Bad behavior. That's why you're not getting approached. And then what the answer is when they say, well, I don't really want to run into bad behavior and humiliation. Well, it's just part of the game. It's just part of rejection. That's a cop-out. That's a cop-out for you not doing what you're supposed to be doing and being a good person, holding up your end of the bargain. That's why men are saying, well, you know what? If I get if I get this amount of money, then maybe they'll start respecting me. Men are they're results based. They're taught to be results based. However you can get this, however you can do whatever you need to do in order to get to this goal, then you'll get respect. That's actually what they're looking for. If you tell me to go get money and I go get the money, then will you respect me? If you say I need to have a house and I go get the house, then will you respect me? If you say that I need to look good and update my wardrobe and I go do that, then will you respect me? I'm just trying to figure out what it is that you want so you can give me the respect. I can show you a good time. Well, I just care about how you make me feel. No, you don't. You care about how I look, how you look with me. I didn't even come out here dressed like a bum. But because I might not be the best looking guy, or I'm not wearing the colors that you want, then you don't want to be seen with me. So I can't even show you who I am or show you a good time because you can't get back. Well, it's first impressions. You got to look good. This. And that's what I'm saying. We keep on going to the loop. We keep on going in the loop. Oh, just work on this, work on that, and you'll get them. No, I won't. No, I won't. If we got, once again, a man, yes, a man, if he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, he can fix himself. He's got to go fix himself. He's got to take accountability for that. But modern women have to take accountability for their portion and what's going on in dating today.
Is not Candy's money. Why is it not? Shout out to ladies. They're married. It's both. It's both their money. I like y'all women up. When I got y'all women on the damn witness stand, I check y'all real quick when I'm cross-examining y'all. And y'all talk about, well, my 2 kids. No, it's not your 2 kids. It's y'all's 2 kids. The father's sitting right here. Those 2 kids would not exist without this man. It's y'all's. It's not yours. I get you straight. Same thing here. Your girl Shell was like, oh, that's Candy's money. Lady's gonna get her straight. It's not Candy's money. That's not Candy's money at all. That's their money. Lady's getting her straight. But we feel it though because Candy's the one that worked for it. Candy's on Broadway. Candy's doing 16-hour days. Candy's doing rehearsals. Candy's on set. Right? That's how we feel. You guys, y'all do the same thing. Lead attorney, that's my pension. Lead attorney, that's my 401k. Oh my God, if I had $1, if I had $1 for every time some dude coming up to me talking about that's my 401k, it's not your 401k. It's not. I worked for 30 years, lead attorney. It's not your 401k. It's not her children. And it's not Candy's money. It's not.
I think it's crazy how some women want providers as men, but when you mention their sons being, you know, a provider or doing anything for a woman or a girl or what have you, it's always not my son, or you better teach your daughter how to be independent, or my son ain't gonna be no trick. Why is that? Mothers, are we not teaching our sons to be the same providers that we want for ourselves? That's really like contradicting and hypocritical. Are we coddling our sons that much to the point where you're forgetting that you want all these things for yourself from a man, but the same boy that you're supposed to be raising up to try to be a man? As mothers, we can't teach a son to be a man. We can still teach them how to be the men that, you know, we would want for ourselves, or we would want for our daughters or nieces and moms and aunties and grandmothers and cousins and friends and whatever. I be seeing that on different platforms where these topics come up, and the mamas be like, not my son. My son ain't gonna be paying no girl rent. You need to teach your daughter how to be independent. My son ain't no trick. But then be expecting the whole 9 yards from a whole man that's a regular man and want a man to pay all your bills and whine and dine you. Like, that don't make no sense at all.
When the divorce happens, a lot of times men end up with nobody. And this study right here says that 85% of men rely on their spouse as their primary support. That's who they go to about everything, right? That's their best friend. That's their wife. And a lot of women look at this as negatively because they don't want to carry any more emotional load, which means they don't give a fuck about what their husband is thinking, feeling, or whatever. But this is what marriage is, right? But women don't do that. But this study shows that when a man gets married, he burns everything else to the ground because it's all about his family. The only reason it's negative is because so many men do this, and it ends up backfiring. They end up alone. Isolation leads to. So in today's world, men have to stop doing this. They have to stop making their entire identity their family. Because women are listening to everyone on social media, their friends, reality TV, to get their marriage advice. They listen to everyone but their husband.
Okay, genuine question for those that say that women should go 50-50 in a relationship with a man because it's the 21st century and we're equals now. Do you think that women fought for the right to have our own money, have our own bank accounts, have our own property, just to turn around and give that to a man, to the same people that were fighting us on it, that were like, no, you're not equal. Oh man, I wish you could have a bank account, but you're just not equal. You're not equal to us.
If guys wanted to take away your rights, they would do it. They're stronger. They would just take it away. This is not, guys didn't fight you and you fought them and won and got these things. That's not how it worked.
Do you know why dating is unfair for men and not for women? Because men have to earn love. Women don't. Women can just show up and there will always be someone to love them. But a man, he has to be confident. He has to have money. He has to have status. He has to have worked on himself. He has to whatever, because a man who is fat, who has no money, who has no status, who has no self-control, will not be loved by anyone except maybe his parents, but that's it. No one else will care about him. So women out there saying that dating is harder for women, where? It is so not harder for women. The worst kind of woman will find love, but a man has to be exceptional in so many ways in order to just have one person care about him.
We hear women come up and talk about how successful they are and how intimidated men are, and they never say a word about their character. And I just can't help but think about how turned off women get when men lead with money and lead with accomplishment and end up having nothing but unavailability and coldness and lack of emotional development, because that unfortunately is what it takes to succeed in certain career fields. You can look it up. And for some reason, women think that the success that they've amassed has somehow happened without them becoming devoid of a lot of the personality and relationships that men are devoid of. And they flex their accomplishments and money the same way men do. And somehow we make it different every time. No disrespect to you, but you didn't say about being a good woman. Nothing.
Why
you didn't say no.
I'm just gonna,
all that, bro. Didn't say nothing about.
I can tell you what.
This is about a larger point. This is not about her as an individual. We don't hear I'm successful, I got my degree, and I've been in therapy the last 3 years working out my issues. I just bought a house, and I also identified my childhood trauma and it took inventory over my baggage, and I got it out the way. Oh, also I'm loyal. My time management is on point. I do what I say I'm gonna do. I'm considerate. We never hear any of it. What I hear is when say that y'all act like, when men say that y'all have turned into alphas, what we're talking about is the worst parts of manhood. Y'all have taken it on. Now the problem with men is that we won't admit that those are the worst parts of us too. But shorty, y'all have taken the worst parts of what it means to be successful, and y'all wear that like a badge. Look at what it's done to us. If you need an example of what it looks like to only live in your accomplishments, look at the black men around you. You in a city full of them. Look at how devoid they are. Look at what it took them to get to where they are. Look at how underdeveloped some of them are emotionally. This is what you want? Is this what we're gonna do, to let accomplishments be band-aids for that?
I'm a woman. So what'd you say?
I said women don't like dudes who got their own, who don't need them. They rather deal with men who are not that intellectually aggressive, who gonna let them say what they want and do what they want. They rather deal with a man like, not saying you like that, but most women out here don't want to deal with a man who gonna say, baby, nah, don't wear that. Nah, baby, don't talk like that. They don't really want to deal with that. They rather deal with a dude who let them say and do whatever they want to do. And they think if a man be a man, he's toxic.
So my question was, do you with a real woman?
Let me answer that question.
And the reason why I asked
is
because if you
with a real woman, she's going to agree with you. Hey, maybe I shouldn't step outside wearing this,
I respect that,
this
baby.
nasty ass shit.
Let me answer that. This is the problem. The real woman is standing too close to the hoes, so we don't know the difference until we start talking to y'all. No, listen. I met a lot of women. It don't mean, I don't care if they from the hood. I don't care if they got two parents. They interests are the same. It's like right now, right? If you see 10 lions coming down the street, are you gonna try to figure out which lion gonna bite your ass or not? You're gonna be like them 10 lions. So unfortunately, the real woman agree with too much these on, so we don't know the difference.
Why are so many men refusing to get married? This is an interesting question, and I don't know if men actually are refusing to get married or not, but it could be a few things. It could be that there's misconceptions about what marriage is. We hear a lot about who benefits from marriage. Is there a benefit to marriage? We hear a lot about men who are taken advantage of in the divorce process or feel like they lost something. I also think there's this mindset where you're with someone, but you're wondering if something better is out there. So why would you commit to marriage if you're worried you're gonna miss out on something better? What I would say to women in that situation is if your partner doesn't want to marry you and you want to get married, leave, break up. That's going to end with you guys breaking up anyway. And if you're a single man who never wants to get married, let us know why. We're really curious.
Once again, we're attacking the content, but we're not giving any solutions. Okay, this young man, oh, this guy don't even know how to wipe his behind correctly. Okay then. Oh, he's just parroting what he's heard and he's exploiting younger men. Okay. Of course, once again, what's funny to me is that these types of channels that y'all hate so much have been able to rise on YouTube, on TikTok. Men made their own way. Whereas y'all had mainstream media, modern women had mainstream media. They were all over mainstream media, talking absolute trash about men, talking absolute mess about men. Nobody was saying anything. Nobody was saying anything. But now, when you get a little buzz of like, what am I hearing? Oh man, I don't like this. Andrew Tate pop up, going berserk. Kevin Samuels pop up, going wild, fresh and fit. As much as I might not agree with all the content they have, going buck wild. All of a sudden, we need to do a documentary on that. We can't let this stand. We need to put them on a list. How dare them? Oh, this is dangerous. But it wasn't dangerous when y'all had The View running. Y'all still got it running. Talking about how men are useless. Y'all, all these talk show hosts, all of these books and articles talking about how men are terrible, all of a sudden it's a problem. That's interesting. I love that. That's rich. And this is what men continue to say. And even at that, if you say, man, you know, these guys are trying to lead you down the wrong path, here's what I would say about divorce. Watch out for this. Look out for that. Hey, take it easy. Because you're talking about the young man that don't know how to wipe his behind. What about the older man? What about the man that's in his 30s, his 40s, his 50s, his 60s? What about that man? Who done been around the block? Who got a business? Who's running it? Oh, well, these men are broke. What about the man who? There was one guy talking about, man. You know, if you're in the Bentley, it don't really matter, man. Sometimes they just don't text you back. Sometimes they be out here messing with another guy. That's how it is. You know, I've got the money, I've got this, I got that. Men are looking for direction, they're looking for guidance. So what do? How do I handle the situation? They have a problem. How do I handle my problem? If I want companionship, what do? Well, you go get money, you go get da. Help me. Nobody is helping the men. That's why they keep on watching the channel, man. Because nobody's helping. Freaking loser.